The hood also helps you judge if you're inside the lines. Your whole car is basically a tool for figuring stuff out when it comes to driving. The other part is don't care about anyone else on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying crashing into them, let them crash into you type, don't care.
My mistake when I was driving the other day was that I was scared of the person that was scared.
A lot of people get afraid when they're too close behind. Don't care. I'm driving my race. You're doing yours. You want to go around me, go around me. You don't, you're going to be kissing my butt if I have to stop short. When you allow that particular fear to get in your head of they're going to be mad at me, so screw 'em. Then you start making mistakes because you're like, okay, he's mad, or he's nasty, or he's pushing me. I gotta go faster and faster and faster, and then you're doing 120 miles an hour, and you're like, oops, I think I'm gonna die. Yeah. So you don't worry about them. Worry about what you're doing. As long as you're in the right, they don't matter. Now, I'm not gonna tell you do 20 and a 40 because that's just bonkers. Usually 35 is the minimum you should be going in a 40, but I think legally after 30 you're now committing a crime, because you can get 2 crimes on you, or 2 tickets or punishments, whatever you want to call it: speeding and going too slow.
Yeah, my aunt got
So as long as you're not going too slow or too fast, you don't have to worry about getting tickets or screwed with. And usually, your best safe bet is 5 miles over the speed limit, except in 25 mile an hour zones. Those are usually residential, and they usually frown upon doing that. But 27, they don't bother so much, because that radar gun's not 100% precise anyway. The radar gun they use to test your speed is not 100%. So it's off by 3 to 5 in the scale. So if you're doing 27, it's not too bad. But 30, they might give you some issues. Because I was doing 30 down my block where I live, and the speed limit is 25. The cop pulled me over, said I was doing 35. I wasn't, I was doing 30. But I wasn't going to argue with him. He's like, oh, you live in the area? Okay, just keep it slow, because we've been getting reports that people are speeding through here. Okay. So they might push on you if you're doing 30. But 27, they tend to go, he's not speeding, or he's not acting like he's a speeder. But remember that one rule when it comes to being in your lane: the mirrors and the hood are your guidance to what that's going on. And the objects in the mirror aren't exactly how far away they actually look, but they are where they say they are. Like that yellow line is next to me. Exactly, I'm actually riding that yellow line. And when I go over here, riding this white one, in the mirror it shows me riding it. But it doesn't tell me how far away it is. But you shouldn't have to worry about that part, because the line's not, as long as you're not crossing it, distance doesn't matter. When it comes to stopping at a red light or car in front of you, it's always best to do about a car and a half lengths between the car in front of you and the light when you hit the brake. And you don't have to slam on it, you just slowly put your foot on it. And my best advice to you is find an empty parking lot and do donuts. And not the traditional donut where you're spinning around in circles, but go around it. And that's how I taught my son. He's only 13, and I put him behind the wheel.
Yeah, I wish my mom did that.
And I told him
I'm
it's
definitely gonna do that for my kid.
it's very simple. Now, some people are too afraid to get involved in that, because just like parents don't like talking about sex. It's really sad though, because you know what? I wasn't taught about sex, and I wasn't taught how to drive. I had to find out both those on myself.
Sex without a conversation in my house.
It's how you were created. You should know everything about it.
Literally. I'm not gonna lie, like when my mom was married, I don't even remember seeing my parents like, you know what you see in the movies when the parents give each other like a kiss or something like that? None of that ever happened.
They're not openly affectionate.
Yeah, I mean they're no longer married, as far as I know. But
You ever seen your mother openly affectionate with anyone?